What better way to settle Cinco de Mayo or any other day than with taco pizza? Let's go. All right, so here are the ingredients we're going to use for today's recipe. So let's start back in the back and do roll call. Now we have our pre-made pizza crust. Guys, if you want to make your own pizza crust, feel free to do so, but I do not want to go through that headache to make this particular recipe here. So I'm using a store-bought pizza crust. Right here we have our ground beef. We have some fresh grated cheddar cheese here. We have some refried black beans. If you don't have the black beans, you can use the other beans, the kidney beans, refried. Right here we have some lettuce. We have some crushed tortilla chips here. We have some pizza sauce, some fresh cilantro, chopped onions, fresh mozzarella cheese, 1 Roma tomato chopped, our taco seasoning, some taco sauce, and we got some jalapenos right there, guys. So if you don't like the jalapenos, feel free to omit the jalapenos. So these are the ingredients, guys. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do, as always, we're gonna prepare our ground beef. All we're gonna do, heat up our cooktop, add our ground beef, and we're gonna cook it until it's brown all the way through. As always, I'm gonna start off by adding a little salt right now, and we're just gonna break it up as we get it cooked. Let's go ahead and follow that up with some onions. All right, so we are good right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. And what we wanna do now is just drain our fat off our ground beef. I'm gonna do that and be right back. All right, so now that we've drained the fat off our ground beef, what we're gonna do now is add our package of taco seasoning. And I forgot to mention, we are going to use a cup of water or 1 cup of beef broth. I have beef broth here. This is a 1/2 cup, and here's my other 1/2 cup. And we're gonna unpause our heat. We're gonna bring this to a boil. And now that it's boiling, what we're gonna do now is just turn it down. We're gonna let it simmer and thicken for about 10 minutes. And while it's simmering for 10 minutes, go ahead, preheat your oven to 425 degrees. All right, so now we're 10 minutes in. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause. Actually, I'm gonna turn off our heat. We have it, we have our mixture thickened. So now what I'm gonna do, so I'm just gonna take this off the heat, and I'm gonna sit it aside, and we're gonna go ahead and continue. All right, so next thing we're gonna do is take our refried beans, and we're gonna add our pizza sauce in the same bowl with it, and our taco sauce. And we're gonna give this a good mix. All right, guys, this is what we have. So let's go ahead and continue. I'm gonna move this aside, and I'm gonna bring over our pizza dough. All right, guys, so I'm gonna use this as my pizza pan. If you have a pizza pan, you can use that. But you just want a typical flat baking sheet to lay your pizza on. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spray this with some cooking spray, just the bottom of it. Next, I'm gonna bring my pizza crust over, and I'm gonna drizzle this with a little olive oil, just a little bit of olive oil, just lightly. And guys, I'm just gonna kind of rub it around the bottom of my pizza dough. You don't have to use much. Now what we're gonna do is take our refried bean mixture, and we're gonna add it to our pizza dough just like this. Now guys, this recipe is enough for 2 pieces. I'm not gonna make 2 pieces. Well, I may make 2 for my neighbor. She likes to eat some of this stuff I cook, but I'm gonna make 1 for right now. And we're just gonna spread this around like this. And you don't wanna put it too far on the edges of the pizza. If you could, well, you can't see it right here, but there's a groove right here, and we kind of want to stay inside that groove. Guys, how does that look? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding about a 1/2 cup of cheese, just right here. Now what I've done is I've mixed our mozzarella and our cheddar in a bag, Ziploc bag, and I just want to add like maybe 3/4 cups here to the bottom of this. We're on top of our refried bean mixture. Now what we're gonna do is come across that with our ground beef. And if you're making 2 pizzas, of course you want to distribute it evenly. So that's probably about 8 ounces of ground beef if you're using a pound. What do you think about that, guys? And now we're gonna come across this with a cup of cheese. Last thing we're gonna do is add our crushed tortillas. Now you can do this at the end, but I like to bake mine into my taco pizza. I mean, you could do it at the end, it doesn't matter, but like I said, I like to do mine right here at this step here. And we're just gonna put a few of them in there. You can also put a few at the beginning and also add some at the end. But I like it to melt with that cheese. All right, now again, we have our oven already preheated to 425 degrees. We're gonna stick this in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes until the cheese is melted and you have that golden crust around the side of your pizza, okay? Let's get it in the oven. All right, guys, so we are 10 minutes out of the oven. Mine was ready in 10, as you can see, a little golden around the edges of our pizza crust. So now let's add the remaining of our toppings, and you can do this however you want. You can eat it exactly like this if you want to, that's fine. But in the spirit of taco, we gotta add a little lettuce to it. Chop me up some lettuce here. I'm gonna come across this with some chopped tomatoes. Oh man, that's starting to look good now, isn't it? Hey, you know me, I'm gonna add some of them jalapenos. Like I say, guys, you can omit this, but I'm a jalapeno fan. And like Freddie Jackson said, for old time's sake, we'll add some fresh cilantro to it. And there you have it, guys. Mexican taco pizza. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. We're gonna go ahead and get into quality control, and the measurements and ingredients are all in the video description below, guys. So let's go. All right, guys, so we are here for quality control. Look, I just brought the whole damn piece in here. Man, we fix to go ahead, put our elbows on the table, and we finna go ahead and get to it. Oh, man. God. I know some of you thought, because I thought the same thing. Refried beans, spread it on the crust. I'm trying to figure out how that's gonna taste. Man, this tastes delicious, trust me. If you watch this around Cinco de Mayo, make sure it's on your Cinco de Mayo menu. If not, just making sure it's on your next weekend menu or your next gathering menu. You're gonna love it. Everybody you prepare for is gonna love it. So y'all already know who I am. This is All Wings Everything. And remember, I'm not a chef. I just cook a lot, and I'm out. Peace.